Okinawa, mysterious island, mysterious country. Not even a country, a whole world for karate fans and all lovers of traditional martial arts. Anyone who has been here before always wants to come back, and those who have not been here dream to come to this place someday. And as a rule, Okinawa doesn't leave anyone disappointed. Clean air, unusual silence, smiling open people. All of this calms you down, helps to stop, relax, take a deep breath, and move forward again, reinvigorated. Many coming to Okinawa understand that they become renewed, their feelings become calmer, and the view of the world becomes cleaner. And this is the magical power of the island, not so similar, not only to the rest of the world, but even to central Japan, which it is a part of. If you have never been to Okinawa and you think that the whole island is a small, cozy village, you are deeply mistaken. The island is more than 1,200 square kilometers, and it is the 5th largest island in Japan. It has 11 cities, and the capital of the prefecture of Okinawa, the city of Naha, is a truly delightful and amazing sight. There is a modern monorail, great service, excellent infrastructure, delicious food, and again, the people. And no less surprising, it was in this place that the extremely effective and popular today martial art, karate, was born. These people, who are so responsive and kind in the streets, become very serious in the halls, where strict discipline reigns, extreme overcoming of oneself. It is those people who, like the island's guardians, do not let the Okinawa's fighting spirit down. There are a lot of them, but among these karate monuments, one stands out. His name is Morio Higaonna.
Would you describe yourself as a violent man or a gentleman?
Karateka violence?
No, you.
Me, no violence.
No violence?
No violence.
No violence?
No violence.
So, if I was to ask you why you carry weapons with you all the time, you carry weapons, I'm referring to your hands.
No, this my...
No, Sensei, the other side of your hands. For now, back to the Orient. Goju-Ryu is a style of karate from Okinawa, famous for its very powerful close-range fighting techniques. It is perhaps the best known of the Okinawan systems, and Master Morio Higaonna is one of the most famous teachers of Goju-Ryu.
Every 3 years, Master Higaonna gathers his best instructors and faithful followers, and together as one they line up and touch the real spirit of Okinawan karate. More than 1,000 participants from all over the world came to the 7th International Budo Sai. This was the most important event in the life of the Federation and the whole of Okinawa. Perhaps there is no other organization in Okinawa that can hold such an event. This certainly confirms that Morio Higaonna is one of the greatest masters of modern karate. Despite his age, the strength of his karate is amazing. His presence in the hall alone is a huge motivation for everyone, from the white belt to the 8th dan. He does not tolerate laziness and negligent attitude towards karate. He is a living legacy of the covenants of the old masters, and that is why his karate is flawless. But to come to such level, it takes years of painstaking work, attentive attitude towards your students, and your way. This way does not forgive laziness or weakness. Every second of his life, Sensei Higaonna has devoted to his main passion, Goju-Ryu. And in the presence of such a person, a living legend in the world of karate, every student wants to give all his strength to prove by diligence and persistence that he is worthy of his teacher. The history of Morio Higaonna Goju-Ryu Karate has more than a dozen years, and every month, every day, his karate meets the Okinawan spirit, which influenced the activities of the entire organization without lowering the bar and preserving the unshakable traditions of the island of Okinawa. This is the 7th World Budo Sai that we have hosted in Okinawa. Before 1998, we hosted the World Championship in Okinawa as well. However, we don't do tournaments in Okinawa anymore. The main objective of our event is to preserve traditional karate, and by doing so, we want to create friendship and peace. At this event, we train together, then we have masters demonstrations where people will see the highest level of traditional karate performances, and we have a sayonara party, where each country performs an aspect of their own culture and deepens our understanding of each other and promotes friendship. In karate training, we understand each other and build friendship regardless of any differences in background, such as culture, language, religion, color of skin, political beliefs, etc. The International Okinawan Goju-Ryu Karate-Do Federation, or IOGKF, was established in July of 1979 by Morio Higaonna Sensei. The IOGKF was established for protecting and preserving traditional Okinawan Goju-Ryu Karate-Do as an intangible cultural treasure in its original form, as passed on by the Goju-Ryu founder Chojun Miyagi, and spreading this art throughout the nations of the world. Since its formation, the teachings of Morio Higaonna Sensei have been spread around the world, and the IOGKF has now more than 55 affiliated countries and over 75,000 members worldwide. The IOGKF is one of the few karate organizations that the Japanese government recognizes as a true Japanese traditional martial arts organization. But the most important are the leading instructors of the organization brought up by Sensei Higaonna. They, along with their Okinawan mentor, are the core of the whole organization, transferring knowledge and experience to their students. And perhaps the main feature of Budo Sai as a place of Goju-Ryu karate concentration is in this knowledge. It should be noted that Goju-Ryu karate is primarily about the nuances of techniques that forge mastery. Look at your skills and abilities from a new angle. Gain experience in one place from the leading instructors of the organization, and finally find your Goju-Ryu. And so the Okinawan karate appeared. It was a long process. The history of Goju-Ryu knew many masters who had a great influence on the development and establishment of the style. And this story is inextricably linked with the history of the whole island. Goju-Ryu, like a lot in the culture of Okinawa, has Chinese roots. A few centuries ago, Okinawa, or more correctly the Ryukyu Kingdom, had close ties with China, political, economic, and cultural. The embassies of the Emperor of China were not a rare phenomenon at the court of the Ryukyu's kings, and together with them, ordinary people of the Heavenly Empire often settled on the island, gradually sharing their knowledge and experience with the local population. This happened also in the field of martial arts. Thus Okinawan karate was born, which, however, in those faraway times was called Tode, the hand of the Tang dynasty. But this was not the reason for the creation of Goju-Ryu karate, well, at least indirectly. The origins of the style lie in China, where the future master Kanro Higaonna went to learn the secrets of Chinese martial arts, and much later his best pupil and successor, Miyagi Chojun, having reworked this teacher's knowledge, created a system called Goju-Ryu. It is with the name of this man that the spread of style in Okinawa is connected. He was a true master for whom karate was not just a system of self-defense, but a tool for education of personality. He equally assessed both the technical skills and the personal qualities of each student. Such an example could not be left without attention. The ideas of Master Miyagi still resonate in the hearts of his followers. At present, the inhabitants of the island feel great warmth towards their Chinese neighbors and their common history. A beautiful Chinese park was created to honor it, with the monument dedicated to the founders of Goju-Ryu nearby. Symbolic, isn't it? The founder of our style, Miyagi Chojun Sensei, said, "Do not harm others. Karate is used only for self-defense. The main objective of karate training is to become a better person. Karate is not for attacking others. Through karate training, we challenge ourselves. We train to overcome our weaknesses. In our organization, the country may host its own tournaments. For example, in 2010, we had the IOGKF World Championships in Cape Town, South Africa. However, as Okinawa is the origin of karate, we will not host a tournament here. Goju-Ryu started in Okinawa. I want to maintain the philosophy of our founder, Miyagi Chojun Sensei. Chojun Sensei was a great master, and I want to preserve his teachings. This is the reason why we do not host a tournament in Okinawa. Instead of competing against each other, we train together, deepen our understanding of each other, build friendships, and pass the art on to the next generation. And it is not just words. The organization of Higaonna Sensei is a really one big family. Well, very big and very friendly. Keeping due respect to all sensei, the atmosphere among all members of the organization is casual and friendly. And this cannot but bribe. Sincere smiles and real warmth can be felt in every word and gesture. Such respect and love are not given for nothing. They need to be earned, regardless of rank or social status. And being in such an atmosphere, it is not only pleasant, but also useful. The person, his thoughts, his feelings change. Being close to the best masters of modern karate, seeing their sincere attitude towards their colleagues, friends, students, you start to wonder whether you correspond to such high standards of humanity. The answer cannot always please, but will leave to change, to become better, not only in karate, but in life. And when you see such examples before yourself, it's easier to do it. But the organization of Morio Higaonna is a family, not only in the figurative, but also the literal sense of the word. This grandiose event was attended by a real sensei family, Alana Higaonna and his son Eric, a worthy continuer of his father's traditions.
Welcome to Okinawa. Your wife.
No. She's a student from Sicily.
Sicily.
Sicily. Italia.
イタリアでしょ。
Sicily 行ったでしょ。
そうそこにシシリ帰ってくる。
Yes, 2015.
In such moments, you understand what an extremely modest person Sensei Higaonna is and how sincerely his students love him. But it's one thing to be a student, and another thing to be his son.
For me, Higaonna Sensei first is my father. Ever since a young age, I kind of saw him as just dad, and we would always go to different countries, and he would teach karate to many different types of people. But I always just saw him as father because I didn't understand the importance of karate and self-defense that he taught from such a young age. I can only see it, but I couldn't understand it. It wasn't until I was older, maybe when I became a teenager, I started to finally understand a little bit how important karate is in self-defense, not just for military and police, but also for regular people every day, defending themselves physically, but also mentally, learning how to be confident and knowing that they can defend themselves if they had the opportunity where they might get attacked. And so when I started to understand that, when I started to become an adult, then I started to have a lot more respect for my father as a karate instructor because he was doing so much good for so many people around the world. I didn't get that level of understanding until I was in my 20s.
After all, the relationship between a father and a son best characterize a person. Eric Higaonna is the new generation of traditional karate followers. Master Goju-Ryu modest, open person nevertheless is very sensitive to changes in the world of martial arts. It should be noted that Eric is a good fighter in the system of mixed martial arts who repeatedly proves his skills in the tournaments. But his sincerity about Goju-Ryu karate is really endearing. Perhaps his dedication to the cause to which his father Morio Higaonna devoted his life makes us believe that karate is something more than a set of blocks, punches and physical exercises. This is the formula of life. Karate, first of all, is a relationship between people, in the hall, at competitions, at work, and most importantly, in the family. If there is no peace, trust or respect in the family, then the rest of life most likely will be like a bad road, restless, nervous and shaking. And along such a road, as in your life, you will not go far and you will not achieve much. But life is something unpredictable. Sometimes one can be born to a family and sometimes you can come to a family. Still, a family remains a family.
This Budo Sai has a special meaning. 2 years ago, Higaonna Sensei was hospitalized and he was really ill, and he stopped traveling last 2 years. So many people around the world, they didn't see Higaonna Sensei for a long time. And I think this time we have over 1,000 people coming from 40 countries. And of course, everybody, the main purpose is they want to learn from Higaonna Sensei. And the purpose of this event is try to spread and preserve traditional Goju-Ryu the way it was taught from Choju Miyagi Sensei to Anichi Miyagi Sensei, Anichi Miyagi Sensei to Higaonna Sensei. Not just technique, but it's the philosophy.
Well, if you really talk about the philosophy of Okinawa, it is better to do it walking along the island with something to see and think about. It is probably impossible to understand karate if you don't try to learn about the Okinawans, their attitude to life, to themselves, and to us. We are so funny and alien to them, so fussy and confused by strange thoughts and concerns. In the past, the people of Okinawa have been through a lot of adversities and trials, and despite all that, they have preserved in their hearts the Okinawan spirit. Life is the main treasure. Unlike the inhabitants of central Japan, who keep a sword in the family alcove, the Okinawans keep a musical instrument of sansin and compose songs about joy and sadness and express their feelings through dance. These cultural features, the attitude of the Okinawans to the surrounding world, had a tremendous impact on the formation of karate as a unique system of personality education within the framework of the military culture that came from China. No matter how times change, no matter how the world and society change, we can say with confidence, Okinawan karate will continue to develop with new dojos springing around the world, surprising people, making them want to engage in a conversation both with themselves and with their teachers and colleagues. A conversation implies the ability not only to speak but also to listen and therefore to hear and to understand. And you cannot understand if you shy away from arguments. You cannot understand if you are unwilling to hear. You cannot hear if you shout at each other, and you cannot talk to the enemy. This is the way, the path of knowledge, difficult and thorny, a path of errors and falls, but the opportunity to remain human, to improve and discover new boundaries, an endless world of Okinawan martial arts and traditions. For example, the castle of the Ryukyu Shuri Kingdom, the main attraction of the island, destroyed during the Second World War, resurrected as a phoenix to a life with no place for cruelty. There is a place for a smile and a sincere desire to teach. Sensei Tetsuji Nakamura, the man entrusted by Master Higaonna to fulfill a lifetime's duty of protecting traditional Goju-Ryu and passing it on to the next generation. July 2012, Sensei Higaonna announced to his senior students around the world that he would be passing the flame of Goju-Ryu to Sensei Nakamura, a man who has been one of his closest and most loyal students.
Tight here, open here. She's right. Yeah, good. One more time. Good.
That's going back to my university time. I was practicing different type of Goju-Ryu, and I was lucky. I was very lucky to find one master in Okinawa. His name was Shuichi Aragaki Sensei, and he was originally student of Chojun Miyagi Sensei, the founder of Goju-Ryu. And actually, originally I came to Okinawa to train with Shuichi Aragaki Sensei. But Shuichi Aragaki Sensei did not have a dojo, and he introduced me to Higaonna dojo, and also he told me, this is the best master in the world in Goju-Ryu. You train this dojo, and that's how I started meeting Higaonna Sensei. But back then, I had no idea who he is. Higaonna Sensei was living in California, and he came after, and then I became a student of Higaonna Sensei, and eventually I was asked to come to California to become uchideshi and as an instructor. And since then, I'm very close to Higaonna Sensei for many, many years till today, and I'm still daily learning from him.
For many decades, Sensei Nakamura has studied Goju-Ryu under the guidance of Morio Higaonna. But what does it mean? What distinguishes such training from what ordinary students are used to? In karate, as in the art of self-defense, it is not theoretical knowledge, but the smallest nuances that are transmitted from hand to hand that are important. Long training that hardens not only the body, but also the spirit. A few years ago, Sensei Morio Higaonna was in a hospital. The situation was very difficult, and literally the whole world held its breath hoping for the best. And it happened. And the great master is back in the hall, his face is concentrated, and the movements are powerful. And this is Goju-Ryu karate. It is impossible to live outside of karate. It does not happen apart from life. It cannot end when there are still strengths and opportunities. And perhaps this is the main challenge for any person. To be in line, to be always a little better than you were. And the applause with which Sensei was awarded is the best proof of this.
I see Goju-Ryu in the world as a self-defense art, and it's an art that is very applicable to many different styles. You can use it for self-defense, and you can use it for military training, but you can also use it for MMA. I view MMA as martial arts, part martial art, part sport. The focus of many mixed martial arts or MMA gyms is for sport, and not so much self-defense. Some are geared towards self-defense though. And the way I view Goju-Ryu is very multi-purpose. Like I was saying, self-defense, it can be confidence building, it can be unifying, but it can also be, the techniques of Goju can be applied to a sport like mixed martial arts.
There is a lot in Goju-Ryu. Tactics, technique, and physical condition. Everything the real martial art cannot exist without. But there is an even more important component, the man. It is the personality that fills with meaning the hardest training, pain, overcoming oneself. Goju-Ryu karate is a constant work with oneself, with weaknesses and laziness. And in this battle, everyone who practices karate is bound to win because it's karate of Sensei Morio Higaonna. Budo Sai is the best proof that Goju-Ryu karate does not lose its relevance today, and everyone finds something in it. For some, it is a challenge to oneself and their abilities. To some, it is the way to learn how to fight, and for others, it is the opportunity to touch the traditions of Okinawa. But to separate the tradition and the present in Okinawa is impossible. Preservation of traditional values is the most important part of life, both for the residents of the island and the mission of the government that supports and increases in every way the interest in many cultural aspects matched by nothing in the world. And such masters of Okinawan karate as Morio Higaonna is one of the most valuable treasures of Okinawan culture. It's not for nothing that a large number of foreigners came to Okinawa just to see with their own eyes the living legend of Okinawan karate, Morio Higaonna, to speak with him, to train and to learn not only about karate, but also the calm confidence and wise attitude to life and people. Undoubtedly, one can say that Okinawan traditional karate is one of the most powerful tools for forming not just a healthy body, but also a high moral level in those who are sincere and open to new views of the world and culture. Goju-Ryu karate. It's not just the art of self-defense, but a whole world, a planet named Goju-Ryu.